Hey, sports fans, PPZ Sports Chaos. And it was a sports chaos weekend, both in college and pro football. We had 7 ranked teams lose, and we had 7 NFL teams that were favorites lose against the spread. Tough weekend. We'll talk about that momentarily. But I do have a Kyrie Award winner this week, PB. Guess who it is?
OBJ.
Close. Scottie Pippen.
Oh,
Scottie Pippen has a book being released because he wanted to contradict what came out in the big ESPN series with Michael, right? This past summer. Apparently he wasn't happy. Scottie says, quote, unquote, Michael would not be the GOAT without me.
wow.
Really?
That's a strong statement.
Whoa, all right. And he did say that Michael made him a top 50 NBA player. I still don't think he should have been the top 50, but anyways. All right. Hey, college football was wild last week, and we're going to talk more about that. Guess what? Next weekend, a little G Money appearance at a sports bar. He wants me to come and do another sports show, so we're going to talk college football next weekend. Lots to talk about because college was nuts last weekend. By the way, he and I did go to the BC Virginia Tech game. Good game there. Phil Jurkovec came back. That was good to see. All right. Upsets in the NFL this past weekend. What was your number one upset?
Man, oh my God, there were so many of them.
Well, let me remind you. You had, the Pats did win. And by the way, your Dolphins won the toilet bowl. Congratulations. They get the toilet paper.
Yeah.
They're now only the 6th worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Cowboys, though, my boys, crushed by the Broncos,
again.
30-16. That game wasn't even close. It was 30-0 at one point in time in the fourth quarter. Browns made a statement. They were an underdog to the Bengals, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They came back. They won big time, 41-16. The Saints, 1 week after beating TB12, Matty Ice shows up, and the Falcons beat the Saints last weekend.
Right.
The Cardinals, without their top 2 wide receivers and their quarterback, by the way, somebody on the show did pick the Cardinals to still win, unlike other folks on the show. Cardinals won against the 49ers. Not Jimmy G's fault. He had a great game. 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, 70% passing. Good for him. Titans, without Derrick Henry, went out west, beat the LA Rams. We all said the Rams were going to win that game. We all looked foolish on that. The Titans are much better, and I've been saying this all year, than people give them credit for, including you, PB. And Baltimore rallied from 16 down to beat Minnesota. And guess what? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday night, you get to see the Lamar Laser Show in person, correct?
I won't be going because I'll be up in Orlando for this long weekend.
Oh, you didn't want to see the real quarterback of the NFL.
I sold my tickets. But
you didn't want to see in person what a real football player looks like. Okay, all right. But I have to say, the upset, I don't know about you, the upset of the week had to be the Jacksonville Jags beat the Buffalo Bills 9-6.
That is incredible. I couldn't. I mean, where's the offense in Buffalo against the Jacksonville defense that teams have been scoring against? I mean, Miami went to town on the Jaguars in London, and I mean, every team's been going to town on the Jaguars, and the Bills don't even get a touchdown. Josh Allen had a very, very off day. So that was a big.
I will say the Jags are tied with the Dolphins as the 5th worst team in the NFL at this point in time.
I would say so, yeah. What about the other one you didn't catch? There was the Giants.
Oh, yes. The Giants beat Vegas. Right.
Vegas. That was kind of a big upset there, too. So so many, here's the thing that sticks with me.
I would say, though, it's Jags is number 1. It has to be followed by the Rams. Everybody thought after they got, what's his name? Von Miller. He didn't play, but everybody thought they were going to easily handle the Titans without Derrick Henry, right? Saints are on a roll after beating Tampa Bay, and they go and lose to Matty Ice. So to me, those are the 3. Those are the 3. And then I will say the Giants losing to Vegas.
Yeah, it's been
Vegas,
like
Vegas is more turmoil, right? So they had another guy from the 2020 draft gone because he pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot some people over the weekend, right?
It's been an up and down season for some teams. I mean, they go in, look at. Here's the thing that really strikes me: Cincinnati Bengals. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC 2 weeks ago. Now they're the 10 seed. They're not even in the playoffs. Not only are they not in the playoffs, but you go 7 deep in the playoffs now, they're 10. They went from the top seed to the 10th seed in 2 weeks. And they lay an egg against the Jets after an impressive win in Baltimore. They lay an egg to the Jets, and then they come back against a team in a little bit of turmoil right now with the whole OBJ situation and Baker just off his game. This was their chance to say, hey, that was a wake-up call against the Jets.
Let me ask you one question, though. I know what I picked. I can't remember what you picked. Did you pick the Bengals to be in the playoffs this year?
I did not.
I didn't either. So we both had the Browns going kind of deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Cream rises to the crop, PB. Cream rises to the crop. Baker Mayfield, you know what? By the way, and we kind of pointed this out in our preview show last week. He had a better year when OBJ went down last year. I don't think he missed him. I know he kind of likes the guy personally, but it didn't hurt him at all. And no one circles the wagons like Baker Mayfield. I've been watching.
Wow. Yeah. So it was a very, very interesting week. I personally was out. One of my pools, I was ousted from the week before the Survivor with the Bengals losing to the Jets. Nobody expected that. This week, I'm sure a ton of people lost on the Bills, but people have already taken the Bills, and you can't take the same team twice. So I was all in on Dallas. Dallas was my pick this week to beat the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are that good of a football team. I can't believe they're 5-4.
Well, hang on. Let's talk about this for a minute. Before we really chastise the Broncos, you and I both on this show repeatedly said during the summer, if the Broncos could get Aaron Rodgers, they could be a Super Bowl team. So just because they didn't get Aaron Rodgers means they suddenly stink, in my opinion. They're still a legitimate team. One guy doesn't make them like a cellar dweller and then a Super Bowl winner.
All right, you're right in the sense that they have a great defense and they have some decent skill players. But here's the thing. It does make a difference. What if you told me at the beginning of the season, if we knew with 100% certainty that Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing for the Packers this year, would any of us take him to even be a wild card? Probably not, because the quarterback has that much of an impact on a team. We would instantly take the Green Bay Packers from a top 3-4 team in the NFC to not even making the playoffs without a question. So it's
I agree, but there's nothing else in the Denver roster in our mind that says they're a great team with Aaron Rodgers. So the fact that the defense is so stout, and they are legitimately solid on offense, not stellar, but they're solid. I'm not surprised. They're 5-4 for a reason, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. I don't think
the AFC West is now the best division in football right now.
I know, right? I don't think
the only division with 4 teams over 500.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think they sniff the playoffs. I don't think Denver sniffs the playoffs this year. Sorry, Broncos.
Well, you're probably right. The AFC's a tough. It's well-rounded. I mean, you got, like you just said, they went from Bengals went from 1st to 10th, right? So, I mean, I still think Pittsburgh gets in at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's so many teams that are 5-4 right now, including the Patriots. So
I mean,
it's a wide
we both
open
did not have the
conference.
Pats winning the division.
No,
and right now they have a shot at winning the division.
no. If the Patriots had beaten Dallas in that game, they'd be the number or Miami in Miami opening week. Miami's in the toilet. We just talked about that. The Patriots lost them at home opening week. They win that Miami game or that Dallas game, they're in first place over the Bills right now.
If the Pats win this weekend, they go 9-8 minimum and probably go, to my prediction earlier, 11-7.
10-7.
11-6. I'm sorry, 11-6.
11-6. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, they could get there. Their defense looks really good. Judon is just a beast on the field. I like what I'm seeing on this team.
And how many cats' lives do Jamie Collins have? The guy leaves the Pats 3 times, gets nowhere in the NFL. He's a scrub. He comes back, and once again, he's a stud.
Yeah. Coach him up. I like what I'm seeing out of that defense, and I like what I'm seeing out of Mac Jones's ability to control a game, and also the running game and that offensive line right now. And that's a recipe for a championship team. Granted, they don't have a strong passing game, but they can pass the ball when they need to. That's the thing. Their run game is so good and their offensive line is so good that when they need to pass, they can. So this team could be scary. This team could be
so real quick, today, we're going into week 10, right? We're now over the middle of the hump right now, because no one can be 500 anymore unless they tie, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So at this point in time, if you had to pick your 2 conference finalist games, who would be in each game, AFC and NFC?
Oh man, I like what I'm seeing out of Tennessee. I'm going to put the Tennessee Titans in as one of those teams, even with the loss of Henry. Like the way they play, playing good football right now, be good football teams. And man, it's hard to pick the other one. I mean, you could say, I mean, you got Baltimore, you got Cleveland, you got Cincinnati, you got Pittsburgh, you got New England, you got Buffalo, you got Kansas City. I mean, could even be in this discussion. You got the LA Chargers. I mean, there's so many teams. It's going to be who gets hot down the stretch there. And if I say
it's Baltimore against Tennessee.
If I had to put my money on a team right now that I think can make a difference down the stretch and in the playoffs, it'd be the Patriots, just based on coach alone. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots could sneak in there. But if I had to put money on it, I'd go Buffalo. I think Buffalo just had an off week. They'll figure it out. I'd go Buffalo Titans right now.
Okay. All right. I think it's Ravens Titans. All right. Who do you think in the NFC then?
Man, there's another, right? Cowboys disappointing. We were very high on them. You still have, the Packers. You still got the Rams and the Bucks. Man, there's so many good teams. I'm going to go Bucks, Rams.
I'm concerned with what I saw of the Rams. Tennessee, with 4 people, obliterated them. And we know Tampa Bay gets healthy again on the backside. We saw what they did to Kansas City in the Super Bowl last year. I say it's a rematch. Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Okay. All right.
This time at Tampa Bay this time.
Yeah. But imagine the week before that. If you have like Tampa Bay against, say, like the Rams and Dallas against Green Bay. I mean, that's the best week in football when you have those 4, the final 8, right?
Yeah.
That's like imagine that week right now, what that could look like.
I love the Cowboys, but their defense is still suspect in my mind, as we saw this past weekend. I think the Cardinals could surprise.
And then, we left the Cardinals out of the whole conversation. So it's wide open. I wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams were there in the end. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't say, oh my God, I can't believe they made it. There's 5 or 6 teams legitimately right now that could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Agreed. All right, let's do some picks here. Last weekend, the game's caught up to UNG money, 2-4, but the man goes 4-2. Z had it figured out. This week, you get a rematch. Let's see. Minnesota goes to LA to face the Chargers in SoFi. What do you think?
Yeah, Minnesota's had a rough go this year.
Yes, they have.
And they continue to lose very close games. And that's why I'm still not sold on the fact that they're done. They've gone on the road in Arizona. I mentioned before, right? They lost by a point in Arizona. They've lost at Cincinnati. They lost at Baltimore in a game they could have won in overtime last week. So they're just barely hanging into these games, and they're giving everybody competition. They're a good football team. No question about it. I think they're playoff capable. This is a make or break for both teams, really. And I'm just going to keep my stock in the Vikings, and also, hope for a Chargers loss to help the Patriots as well. I'm going to take the Vikings on the road. I think they're realizing this season's on the line here.
Woo! I'm taking the Chargers.
All right.
Speak of the Pats, they host Cleveland this weekend. Back to your point. Here's maybe the next 2 teams after the 2 we just mentioned, right? Going to the AFC Championship game. Who do you think?
Yeah, and here we go with Cleveland figuring it out. If Cleveland got smoked by Cincinnati or lost to Cincinnati, I'd probably be just all in on the Patriots without even thinking about it. But now I have to think about it a little bit. Has Cleveland found their way? Is OBJ being out of that organization actually going to help that team? We know from a talent perspective, that could be one of the better teams in the AFC. Neither of us just predicted them to be in that AFC Championship game, but why not? Why can't they be there? This will be a challenge. And the Patriots haven't played well at home. They're losing games.
Good point.
Yeah. And I want the Patriots to win it, but I just have a feeling this is one of those ones that Cleveland's going to sneak out and figure out a way to win down the stretch at the end. Patriots home woes continue. So I'm going to go Cleveland on this one against my heart, but that's just kind of how I feel, how things are going right now.
I'm going to take the Pats with an asterisk. If Stevenson, the running back, Ramondre Stevenson, and Damian Harris can't play because they both left the game early last week,
With head
different
injuries.
story. Because if they can run the ball on Cleveland, control the clock, different game altogether. So that's my only wild card. But I'll take the Pats for right now.
Okay.
All right. New Orleans goes to Tennessee. What New Orleans team shows up?
Yeah. New Orleans, another one of those teams that's up and down, right? They manhandled the Tom Brady and the Bucks, and then they lose to Atlanta. So, but Tennessee's just impressed me. They big win against the Rams, like you mentioned. I just think right now Tennessee's playing good football. They haven't let the loss of Derrick Henry impact their game plan. So I'm going to take Tennessee.
I get you with that. I got Tennessee as well. I like the fact that Adrian Peterson, although he only had 21 yards, he had a nice rushing touchdown where he ran through about 4 guys. We'll see. And with no quarterback. So, I mean, New Orleans has no quarterback. So we'll see. All right. Here we go. This is a crazy one. At the beginning of the year, we probably would have had no problem picking this game, but it's KC going to Vegas to face the Raiders, who, as we said, are coming off their issues with their 2020 first round of picks that are both now off the team due to some situations. What do you think here? KC obviously won a game last week. Very ugly. By the way, Green Bay did cover the spread in that game. So go figure with Jordan Love, right?
Yeah. Yep. And you know what? That was a big win for Kansas City, even though it was a lame game. I watched it. It was not really that exciting or fun to watch. Mahomes is still struggling. But you know what? A W is a W in the NFL. And the fact that they won that game gives them that momentum. No team in that division is really running away with it. This is their opportunity to show and prove that they can still win this division. This is the game. This is the turning point. If they lose this game, I don't think there's a shot at winning the division. If they win this game, I think they got to be the odds-on favorite to win the division. So it's on the road, right? It's in Vegas.
Yep.
I think Kansas City gets it done. And right now, Vegas is a little bit of a team in turmoil too, right? All the situations going on, the whole Ruggs thing. They're just, the whole Gruden thing. This team has just had too many front office and locker room crap going on this year that just is not good for the team. I'm going to say the Chiefs figure it out and they win this game.
I'm going the Raiders because you know why? They always split with the Kansas City Chiefs, it seems like. And by the way, what does the Raiders always do? They sign a problem child who comes in and does well for them. And they just did that with Deshaun Watson coming over to the Raiders. So we'll see. I like the Raiders.
Didn't work out when they signed Randy Moss.
No. But historically, the Raiders have signed a problem child and it's worked out. By the way, Moss, he didn't really want to go to the Raiders anyway. So, all right, LA, another LA team, LA Rams, they go to the 49ers. The 49ers, man, I told you I gave up in the last week. Fortunately, Arizona beat them. 49ers are 0-4 at home this year.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be 0-5. I'm still high on the Rams. I think they're, after the Bucks, I think they're the best team in the NFC right now.
Plus, Von Miller does play next weekend.
And Von Miller's playing. Yeah, I'm in on the Rams on this one.
And Kyle is still only like 40-60 playing.
Yeah, there's a good chance he doesn't play, actually. So,
all right, I'm with you. I got the Rams as well. All right, last one. 2 quarterbacks who missed last week. One of them missed a couple weeks before that as well. Russell Wilson for Seattle comes back to play against Green Bay. Rodgers potentially can play if he passes COVID test up to Saturday morning. So they won't know until Saturday's walkthrough if he can play. What do you think?
Yeah, and then he'll be playing without practicing. But for Rodgers, he doesn't need that. He's got the chemistry he needs with his receivers. Man, this is in Green Bay?
It is in Green Bay, though, so that's a plus
Green Bay.
For Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Green Bay. I just, even if Love plays, I'm still going to take Green Bay. If Rodgers plays, I'm taking Green Bay all day long. If Love plays, I'm still going to go on a limb and take Green Bay.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I'm taking Green Bay as well. I think Rodgers plays. I'm not sure Seattle's Russell Wilson hasn't been there in 3 weeks, so is he going to be ready to step in either? We don't know, right?
Right, right.
We saw that with Dak Prescott. Missed a week. He looked horrible against the Broncos. So,
Broncos. Yep.
all right. What do we? So we differed on. You had Cleveland, I had the Pats, and you had Minnesota, I had the Chargers, right?
Yeah, and we're the same on everything else.
Oh, and you had Casey had the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
so it's
So we're
split.
different on 3. All right.
3
let's
and 3.
go.
All right.
All right.
All right, my man. Enjoy. Too bad you're not going to see the Lamar show on Thursday. You're going to miss
No,
the
I
real
will be
hype.
I'll be in Orlando enjoying a little birthday celebration. Both my daughters are coming down tomorrow night, and
All right.
we'll be spending the weekend in Orlando doing a little Universal, little Disney, Epcot. Should be fun.
Nice. All right, PB. Have a good one. Talk to you soon, fans.